Hi sewing friends! Today I will show you a high-end bias tape technique for a flawless armhole finish. Let me share a crucial sewing secret with you. A flutter sleeve is not a full sleeve. It is more like a decorative ruffle. If you attach it to a standard armhole, your shoulder will look bulky. It will drop down too low. So, we fold the garment in half. We fold it down the center. We match up the shoulder seams. And we shorten the shoulder by 2 centimeters. We draw a new smooth armhole curve. And we carefully trim away the excess fabric along this line. We cut without adding seam allowances. For the flutter sleeves, we need 2 fabric strips. The width of the strips is 8 centimeters. The length of the strips is 40 centimeters. First, let's finish the bottom edge of the sleeve strip. We fold the raw edge once. We fold the edge a second time, and we sew it down neatly on the machine. We finish the second sleeve strip in the exact same way. Now we place the finished strips together. We place them right sides together. We fold the strips in half, and we trim off one corner in a soft curve. This gives our flutter sleeve a beautiful flowy shape. Here is my favorite trick for perfect, even gathers. We sew a first line of gathering stitches along the top raw edge. Next to it, we sew a second parallel line of stitches. We set a long stitch length of 5 or 6 millimeters. Before pulling the threads, we find the center of the sleeve strip, and we mark it with a pin. Now we pull the bobbin threads, and we create an even gather on both pieces. Be sure to check the length of both gathered sleeves. Their length must be exactly the same. Now let's move on to the most interesting technique. We align the center of the sleeve with the shoulder seam. Pay close attention to this step. We place the wrong side of the sleeve against the wrong side of the garment, and we pin the pieces together. Then we pin the sleeve along the entire length of the armhole. If you are unsure about pins, it is better to baste the sleeve first. For beginners, this is the safest way. Now we will need some bias tape. The width of the tape is 4 centimeters. The length of the tape should be slightly longer than the armhole. We fold the bias tape in half, and we find its center. We align the center of the tape with the shoulder seam. We place the bias tape right on top of the sleeve, and we pin it down along the entire length of the armhole. Notice that we pin the tape from the sleeve side. We now have a sandwich of 3 layers. We stitch through all 3 layers with a single row of sewing. We press the bias tape to the side. We stitch 1 millimeter from the edge. This stitch will stop the tape from rolling out when worn. Take a look at the wrong side. The wrong side turned out completely clean. There are no raw seam allowances on it. All the seam allowances are now on the right side. But do not worry. We will cover them so that nothing will be visible. Now we remove the 2 gathering stitches from the sleeve, the exact stitches that helped us make the gathers. We fold the bias tape over to the right side of the garment and we press it down with an iron. We press the bias tape thoroughly along the whole armhole. This helps the tape take the exact shape of the armhole curve, but we will not top stitch the tape down just yet. That will be our next step. We fold the garment pieces right sides together. Now we are going to work on the side seam. We align the pieces along the side seam. Now pay close attention. We match up the seams where the tape was attached and we pin them down. We sew the side seam. We start the seam right from the tape attachment line, but we do not sew through the tape itself. Now we need to finish the side seam edge. This can be done on a serger, or you can finish the edge with a zigzag stitch. We turn the garment right side out. We fold the unfinished ends of the tape to the right side, and we pin them together. We draw a sewing line with chalk. This line follows the outline of the tape end. We sew along the chalk line. We trim away the excess tape allowance close to the seam. Now we turn the finished tape corner to the right side. It completely covers all the raw seam allowances. We top stitch the tape down onto the main garment with a single row of sewing. Look at how beautiful it turned out. We got a flutter sleeve with a neat decorative trim. If you use a contrasting bias tape, it will look even more striking. With this sewing method, the inside stays completely clean. The right side also looks very tidy and clean. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share this tutorial with your friends, and be sure to watch our new videos. See you in the next tutorials!